Hi ladies, so I'm going to take you through a short video just to go through the different functions of your Photoshop tools. So what I'm going to do here is I've got my image of my collage that I've scanned, and I'm going to just right click and open in Photoshop. If you can't just right click, you can just have, if you've got your Photoshop there, you can just drag it into Photoshop and see if Photoshop opens. There's my image, or you can even go to File, Open, look for your work. I'm going to go to Downloads and click Open as well. So I'm just going to go through the tools that we're going to use. This is the Move tool, so the one with four arrowheads and it's perpendicular like that, so it can move things like that. Rectangular marquee tool can make a selection in the shape of a rectangle. Now if I right click on that, it can do an elliptical, so it can select things in a circular shape. I hope you can see the dotted lines there. If I don't want any of those things selected, I can just press Command D on a Mac or press Control D on a PC. With a polygonal lasso tool, as you can see in this little demonstration there, you can actually just draw little lines and close the shape and select something. So say for example, I want to select this kind of shape here. This is a scenario and it needs to go back to that edge there, and once it closes you'll see the dotted line. So I can right click and select the inverse, which will actually select all the area around that shape. And what I can do is I can either press delete, and I might change it to, I don't know, black. So if it deletes all the white there. So I'm just gonna press command, I'm just gonna go undo. Or I can even I'm just going to right click again and select inverse. So now I'm just selecting the thing that I've done in the middle there. So I can actually layer via a copy. So what I'll do is I'll create another layer. And if I undo my background, what it's done is it's just literally cut out my picture according to that shape. And I can do things with that. And I'll show you how. Press Command T. What that does is highlight that layer again, and now I can use my move tool to move that around, and I can even double it up and add and move things everywhere as well. So I'm just going to unclick that layer because I'm just still showing you how to use layers. Now the magic wand tool can pick an area based on its color. So if I click on the white area, it's going to do its best to click where the white is. It's not that great. I can um, click on the yellow. Let's see what happens there. I'll try again. Magic tool. Yes. What if I click on the black? Oh. So make sure up here what it's doing is it's trying to subtract. I'm going to click on the square where it's colored in, so it's going to look for your color. So you can see here that the computer is trying to select all the black. If you want to click on more black areas, you can click the option button, and you can see here that it says minus, so it will take away the black. Or you can click on shift and you'll see that the button says plus, so it's gonna look for more black areas that I can select. And sometimes it doesn't get it that great, so sometimes you might want to zoom in, and I might just click more. And it's a bit hard because we've scanned the image, it's not a pure black, so it's going to get a little bit confused. So I sometimes the magic tool is really great when I'm just going to press Command D again. When some things are kind of, I don't know what it's selecting there, are very clear cut with their color. So I think the white is a bit better. You can do a quick selection tool. So it kind of works like a paintbrush. So I just color in the area that I want to select. Now, as you can see, this paintbrush is quite thick. So I'm going to press Command D again. And because I'm on that selection tool, I'm going to press that left square bracket and make that smaller. And then I'm going to select the head. It's not doing a really good job today, so that's a bit annoying, but it can select little areas as well. Now, the crop tool is for you to crop your images, which I prefer to do in Lightroom. So here I've got it on a 1:1 ratio. I can click on the side, go 2:3, which is your normal photo size, and click it around the other way. Now, because your dimensions are A3, but some of you may not have filled up the A3 sheet, but if it's A3, your dimensions are usually 29.7 by 42. I'm going to do it the other way, and that should cover my A3 sheet of paper, so you can use it to crop. Or if you don't want to put clear dimensions, you can just drag it in and move things in where you want to as well. Now, this is a eyedropper tool, so it kind of selects images. If you want to use paintbrushes and stuff, we won't be using that as much. Now, the spot healing tool, you girls have used this before, so I'll click on background or even on layer 1. If I want to just fix things like this tear, I want to fix it up, I'm just going to use the spot and it can fix that. Okay, and make these tears go away a little bit and fix it up. So this is the healing brush tool. So what it does is it copies what's there and puts it somewhere else. So some people tend to use it to fix things up. So say for example, I've got this tear here and I want it to look like this color. What I do is press option and click on that, and then what I do is just glide it over where I want it to, and it will just copy what's there onto that area there to clean it up. I don't like that, so I'm just going to press Command Z, or some of you can press Control Z. This is a patchwork. So what it does is you can just circle area that you want fixed, and it would usually think about it and fix it, but you actually have to work on your background layer. So I'm just press Command D. I'm gonna take that away, and then I'm just gonna go like this. Oh, and then whoops, and then I will just drag which area I want it to copy from, and then it'll kind of fix it like that. So, but that wasn't a great fix, so I'm just showing you an example. So this tool is a content aware move tool. It's pretty good. Like what you can do is actually highlight the tool, and then it creates a copy of that part of the picture, and you can put it somewhere else, or you can create another layer and then move it around, which is the best thing to do. So I'm going to just say, for example, I've got this flower here, and I'm just going to try to roughly create the shape for it. What I can do is actually press Command C or Control C, and then press Command V or Command or Control V, and what that is just copies and paste it. So what it does is it creates another layer. So you can see here I've got background, I've got layer 2. So if I unhighlight that, then I've got another copy of that flower. But when I've got this, I can actually press on layer 2, I can actually press Command T. So that's it stands for transpose, and I can use the arrow. Whoops, Command T, and then I'm use this arrow, and then I can move my picture wherever I want. So I can make multiple copies of it if I want. So that would be the same as, so I've got layer 2 there. If I wanted to do another one, I would click on layer 2 and click on duplicate layer, press OK, and then I can press Command T again, and then I can use the arrow to move another one and create more copies. So that's a pretty cool tool to have. This is a paintbrush tool, so you can paint with it. So if you want to draw, but down the bottom here you can pick your color. So say for example, I don't know, I want a yellow or something. I can just pick my color, and then I can do whatever I can paint in different colors. Now I've got opacity at 25%. At 100, then it's going to have a real solid color. You can also pick like if you want to kind of have to, the hardness is just makes the lines really solid, so I can do that. And once again, if I press the square brackets, I can make that smaller. Can make that smaller again. So if I wanted to color, let's say for example, these glasses in this part yellow, I would probably zoom in and make my paintbrush smaller. Then I could do that as well. So I'm just going to press Command. I'm just going to undo all that, So I'm pressing Command Z because I don't want all that. So that's the paintbrush tool. This is a clone stamp tool. So say for example, I really like this part here. There's those of you who have skies and backgrounds that you want to continue copying, and this one works kind of like the healing tool. So what it does is I just press, just gonna make my paintbrush bigger. I'm gonna click on option. So what it does is it takes that area there. I'm just gonna go down and it's gonna paint it on there. But it's not working because I've copied it from the wrong layer. So I'm going to have to click on background. I'm going to press option and I can see that there. And then I'm just going to, so what it does is it just basically copies the same, exactly the same thing over. And if I keep doing that, yeah. So you've got to be really selective about what you copy. I'm going to press Command C and what you clone. This is the eraser tool, so you can rub things out and it'll make it pure white because down the bottom is pure white. So this paper here wasn't the white, this is part of the picture. And then there's a gradient tool, and those tools I don't really use that often. So those are just some of the tools that you can use in Photoshop. So just explore and play with those for the meantime.